following match is set for one fall. From Calgary, Alberta, weighing in at 190 pounds, Mo Jabari!
Mo Jabari on his way to the ring, and the champ has joined me at commentary.
Mo Jabari beat him twice.
You do seem to have his number. I mean, you have everyone's number at this point.
I mean, there's no denying that. There's nobody who could step to me in WPW. I said it in the ring. I didn't just say it for no reason. There's nobody to challenge me. Everyone who comes in my wake is destroyed. You want to talk about James Roth? He's a guy. He's in the hospital still. He's still in HSC right now. They have no idea when he's going to get out of there. I destroyed his ribs. He's got all kinds of internal bleeding. Maybe he never gets out of the hospital. Maybe he just lives there now. Maybe he's in palliative care by the time this is all said and done.
From Manchester, England, weighing in at 190 pounds, he is the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington!
Some very harsh words by the champion, Tyler Colton, as the Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington, is making his way out to the ring. And this kid has been on absolute fire lately.
Why? What's he done?
I mean, he was on AEW Collision a few weeks ago, had an incredible match with Konosuke Takeshita.
Does AEW have a U16 division now?
They do not. A few weeks earlier, he wrestled Dax Harwood, had a great match with him. And him and Mo Jabari have been absolutely tearing it up out in the West. They've tagged together, they've fought against each other, and now tonight they're going to fight here in WPW.
From what I've been hearing, it's a very reminiscent of Stampede kind of feud here. We've seen them tag, like you said, we've seen them wrestle each other. There's always a certain level of respect. There you go, a couple of dinks.
The history for both these guys, I mean, Tommy Billington being the nephew of the Dynamite Kid, what an arm drag there.
Dropped him pretty hard with that one, actually, for an arm drag.
And Mo Jabari with his history with Bret Hart, I mean, trained with him, he's become friends with him. So there's a lot of Stampede history here with these two.
I mean, you want to talk about pedigree is, who's Tommy Billington's dad? He's the Dynamite Kid. He's one of the best wrestlers who's ever existed. Miles and miles ahead of his time when he was a junior heavyweight. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Tommy Billington quite fits the mold, but I guess we'll find out.
They lock up again, off the ropes. Oh, and Billington drops with the shoulder block again. Step over. Oh, catches the leapfrog.
Wow.
A slingshot into that top turnbuckle.
I will say he does move like his dad. Headbutt.
A quick pinfall, a quick pin, and a quick kick out by Mo there. The speed and just intensity that Billington has, it's unmatched here.
When you think about these two guys as potential contenders for me, Billington's obviously very talented, but there's a reason that we have weight classes. There's a reason why you don't see the super heavyweights in the UFC fighting the junior heavyweight guys, and the same thing in wrestling too. He can be as fast as he wants to, but once I get my hands on him, there's just not going to be any room for speed.
You had mentioned Dynamite Kid. I mean, he had an incredible run over in Japan. Tommy Billington recently wrestled over there with Kyushu Pro, and now he's back here in North America. And I mean, him and Mo are just going toe-to-toe here. Oh, Mo counters that one.
Very fast-paced here, though.
We saw in the Lucha match just how fast those guys were going, and these guys have kept up that pace.
I mean, we're following an absolutely, for lack of a better word, ridiculous Lucha match. This crowd saw pretty much every move there is to be done. So now they're seeing what was not shown at all in that Lucha match, which is just wrestling. Just a good, hard-hitting, technical style of wrestling that both these guys with that Stampede pedigree can surely bring.
Lots of reversals, lots of intensity, but right now Tommy Billington just gathering his bearings on the outside. Had a bit of a drive here today. I mean, that has to throw you off when you're prepared for one way of travel. You get thrown off, you have to readjust. But the intensity here, I mean, he's really fired up.
Yeah, a little peek behind the curtain. I had heard that his flight was canceled and he had to make some last-minute changes and adjustments to be able to get here. So there's definitely that's going to throw a wrench in your plan when you plan to get to the city or the venue or whatever, something like 4 hours earlier, to have that kind of time to prep to get yourself ready.
Oh, what a clothesline!
and that's suddenly taken away. Changes the angle on that snap suplex.
That was beautiful. Cover only a 2 count there for Billington. And it's surprising with what Billington has had to deal with today that he's come out this on fire, where you think that maybe Mo would have that advantage.
Yeah, Mo's typically the more, you call it energetic maybe. Say when I wrestled him, he was moving around me a lot, and we're seeing just the opposite here, that Tommy Billington is just tearing him down. He's really giving him no chance to catch his breath, get much offense. I think we saw 1 crossbody, and that's pretty much all that Mo's given him.
Now, you mentioned when you faced off with Mo, I mean, he was trying to use his quickness against you, moving around you. If you step in the ring with Tommy, I mean, he's faster than Mo, and he's showing more intensity. So how do you combat that, the quickness of Billington?
I'm gonna just grab him. That's what it's gonna be. It's like I said, like if I put my weight into it, he's not gonna knock me down. He's not going to be able to move me around. He's not going to be able to manipulate my body weight. So he can be fast, and he can work around, and he can escape me. But eventually, I'm going to get my hands on him, and it's going to be very close to the end of the match once I do that. That's what I did with Mo. He's very quick, too. Maybe not as quick as Dynamite Jr. here, but he is quick. And all I had to do was just put him down, and it changed the whole complexion of the match.
A big back elbow only gets a 2 count for Billington. Locks in that headlock. Just handful of hair. Up and drops Jabari.
Mo's hair is getting pretty thin there. There's not a whole lot to grab onto. He's going to want to save that. Whoa, sharp knee drop.
You see just how precise Billington is with these moves. I mean,
you don't see a knee drop like that very much anymore. I think a lot of guys kind of recognize how dangerous those really are. You want to beat somebody, but you don't want to smash somebody's face with their bone. But Dynamite Kid Jr. clearly not afraid of doing that.
Jabari somersaulted him into that bottom turnbuckle, kicks out his leg.
Finally get some offense here from Mo.
I mean, a good way to, take away that quickness is eliminate the legs from Billington.
Very much what's old is new again here with these two guys. You see a lot of these moves that, the Harts used to do, the British Bulldogs used to do. That's got Bret Hart stamp all over it right there.
And the knee, it can be such a delicate piece there with all the ligaments. I mean, one slight tear and you can really be effed up.
Well, you want to talk about a guy, like you said, he moves fast, he moves very abruptly, he's got great agility. If you take away that ability for him to move laterally, wow, he tear his MCL or something, he's not going to be moving that way anymore.
Billington kicks out at 2. Dropping a leg drop.
Jeez, these guys are going very hard on each other.
And I mean, these guys, like I had mentioned before, I mean, they've tagged together, they faced off against each other, so like they're very familiar with each other's work. But if you can get that early advantage and really take it to your opponent, I mean, you could be in line for that victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, James Roth is like on the verge of death right now. So there is a big open space at the we'll call it the second highest spot in the mountain for somebody to step up and challenge me for my belt and make the biggest mistake of their life. I feel like maybe people haven't taken what I did to James Roth as what it was, which is a warning. This is what will happen to anybody who wants to wrestle me for my belt. This will happen to anybody who tries to challenge me. It's not James Roth. It's nothing personal. I don't really have a personal problem with James Roth, but he stepped to me, he stepped to my belt, and that's enough for me.
You did have some very harsh words for his wife, though, earlier. I mean,
well, I would say that to anybody's wife, but his is particularly. She really gets on my nerves. When I grabbed her hair and I got that first look at her, I thought to myself, what does James Roth see in this woman? I'll never understand.
Oh! Now, last month or I guess back in May at Young and the Wrestlers, I mean, you faced off with Cheeks. You had mentioned, you laid it all out in the ring of what happened. I mean, James Roth cost you that match, and Cheeks has his names in the record book with a count-out victory over you now. Yeah,
that's something I'm going to have to just deal with. Unfortunately, it's not a moment I'm particularly proud of or happy with. But obviously it wasn't my fault. I will never admit that it was my fault. I was winning that match. I was going to win the match, and James Roth decided to stick his ugly little face into it and ruined it for me.
Billington suplexes Jabari back in. He's to the middle rope.
Just rolls away from him. Doesn't let him get it.
And Tommy just stalking him at this point.
Just punching him in the knee.
and I mean, he was working that knee over earlier. Smart move.
He'll face again here, big lariat.
Another one. Ducks the clothesline. Oh,
power slam.
Beautiful slam by Jabari.
You know, I'll say I have a real disdain for small wrestlers, but Mo Jabari has been putting on a little bit of size. It's pretty plain to see. He looks like he's maybe 5-10 pounds heavier than he was the last time we saw him.
Now, do you think an increase like that is going to affect his speeds enough that it hinders his performance?
No, I don't think so. I think that putting on muscle is almost always a good thing, especially when you were as skinny as Mo Jabari used to be. Skinny boy. When you are functioning better with more muscle, you're going to be able to do more in the ring. You're going to be able to lift a guy up, and it's not going to exhaust you the same way. It's not going to feel as hard for you because you're stronger. So you're going to have a little bit more gas in the tank when it comes to things like that.
Jabari
Obviously, there is a line to cross, but
Irish whip. Oh, beautiful
stampede.
Again, off the ropes. Back elbow.
These guys are just making each other run. They're just constantly making their opponent run, which is, I would say, probably a strategy. These guys are both very well conditioned, and if you can be the one who can get the other one blown up, you're going to have a lot of opportunities.
Jabari dodges that elbow, and Billington eats nothing but canvas. I mean, Tommy Billington, he's went from 0 to 100 in seconds, and he has continued that pace throughout the entire match. The crowd trying to fire both of these guys up. Back to their feet, trading shots. Headbutts back and forth. Oh,
Impact.
Shades of the Hitman there with those headbutts.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like this. What are you doing there, Mo? Don't do it, Mo. Oh, power driver. That's fine.
I thought you might run into the ring.
I was going to have to do something if that goes onto his shoulder.
And Billington counters that pile driver again. Gets Jabari up and over.
Oh, caught him on the ropes there.
Billington to his feet first. Jabari counters the Irish whip. Billington up and over.
Uh-oh, no, oh, no.
Oh, Jabari counters the tombstone.
Wow.
Oh, another counter.
And tombstone.
Lands him right in the center of the ring, but how much damage did that do to Tommy Billington's knee? Jabari had been working it over earlier, gets the cover.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I don't think Mo Jabari could have done with his old physique. That's the kind of, muscling a guy around like that. That is not easy to do, especially when you're in a compromised position like that. That was, I'll give it to him. That was impressive. Crowd coming alive.
They were fired up during that Luchas match with the same chant, and they're raining it down on Tommy and Mo here tonight too. Billington off the ropes. Roll up. Again.
In the ropes, though.
Oh! Tommy Billington with the win.
The Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington!
Wow, I'm actually kind of speechless. That was a very, very fast finish. That was very, very impressive.
The quickness of Tommy Billington catching us off guard there with that roll-up, but I mean, a big win over a former WPW championship contender. I mean, he could have his sights set on you going forward.
I wouldn't hate that because I do feel like, if I can beat the Dynamite Kid Jr., that's going to be a good look for me. I'm kind of built like the British Bulldog in a lot of ways, so there would be some interesting connotations to that.
Tommy Billington with a massive victory.
Don't bother, Mo. Don't shake his hand.
Showing some respect.
These guys. fight in that one. I don't think he expected that one to end so abruptly. I know I didn't.
No. At the rate and quickness those two are going, just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Mo, a definite crowd favorite here at WPW, and he'll be back.